Nice to see you. Hope you're okay. Can you just say something in the chat just so that I can make sure that you can hear me? Beautiful day. Nice to be sat in the garden. Excellent. Thanks, Kat. Well, welcome. We're going to make our Easter garden. I hope you've got everything you need, but don't worry if you haven't. You can always pause the live stream, go and get what you need and come back and then press play again. Doesn't matter if we're not all exactly perfectly in sync. We better begin with a song, haven't we? And we're going to sing Thank You, Lord. Oops. Bloody chair. Thank you, Lord, for this fine day. Thank you, Lord, for this fine day. Thank you, Lord, for this fine day. Right where we are. Remember eggs and bacon. Eggs and bacon, praise the Lord. Eggs and bacon, praise the Lord. Eggs and bacon, praise the Lord. Right where we are. Thank you, Lord, for Good Friday. Thank you, Lord, for Good Friday. Thank you, Lord, for Good Friday. Right where we are. Eggs and bacon, praise the Lord. Eggs and bacon, praise the Lord. Eggs and bacon, praise the Lord. Right where we are. Claire, could I get you to just move the umbrella this way a bit, because I'm getting blinded when I sit backwards. My lodger Claire is here with us as well, supervising. So, brothers and sisters, I hope you've got everything you need for your Easter garden. What we're going to do is we're going to build the Easter garden together. Thanks, that's brilliant. We're going to build the Easter garden together, and as we do so, I'm going to tell the story. Mud. And here's mine. I have planted one flower already. This is one that I dug up from the garden. And it's saying my connector was still that I dug up from the garden. So I needed to plant it, otherwise it would have shriveled away. So we begin with our tray. And the first thing we need to do is the first part of our story is to make the cross. Now, to make the cross, you need 3 crosses actually. We need 6 twigs, 3 long ones, 1, 2, 3, and 3 short ones. Now I just need to make the short ones. There's 1, that can be 2, and that one 3. Okay, and 3 short twigs. And what we're going to do, using a piece of string, a pair of scissors, I'm going to get a piece of string. We're going to tie the pieces of twig together across. You might need to get an adult to help you with this. Feels a bit like blue. Here's one I prepared earlier, but there is no sticky back plastic in this. Here we go. This is the first. This is where being a Boy Scout comes in handy, because you learn all those knots and lashings and things. So you Boys Brigade guys, you should be able to do this really well. So here's cross number 1. Just going to trim the ends off the string to make it look nice and tidy. There's cross number 1. So I'll begin telling the story as I'm making the other 2 crosses. One day, Jesus was with his friends in the upper room and the garden to pray. Jesus went off to pray by himself, and the disciples fell asleep because they were tired. Came out of the shadows and gave Jesus a kiss. And this was the sign that the temple guards were to take him. They took Jesus away with them into the night. And that night was a confusing one. Many things happened. Jesus was imprisoned in the Roman Friday. He was on trial in front of Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor. And the Roman governor asked him all sorts of questions, and Jesus didn't really answer them. Because Jesus knew what was going to happen. And it wouldn't have made any difference. He knew that he was going to the cross. Pontius Pilate tried to save Jesus, actually. He said to the crowd, who do you want me to crucify? Do you want me to crucify this Jesus who you call the Messiah, the King of the Jews? Or do you want me to crucify this robber, Barabbas, and the scribes? And they said, we want Barabbas, Barabbas, crucify Jesus, they said. And so Jesus was sent away to be crucified. Jesus had to carry his own cross all the way to the place called Golgotha, which means place of the skull. And when you've made your crosses, pop them in one corner like this. I've made a little mound to stick them in, but you don't have to do that. And there were 3 crosses. There was the cross of Jesus, and either side of Jesus there were 2 robbers fired at the same time. And then one of the robbers said to Jesus, you're supposed to be the Son of God. Why don't you take yourself down from the cross and save yourself? You don't need to be here. And the other one said, shut up. Don't tempt him. He's the Son of God. He's done nothing wrong. Why are you being so horrible? And Jesus said to the one who'd said that, he said, today you'll be with me in paradise. But the thing about the cross is, we know that that isn't the end of the story, don't we? This is what the celebration of Easter is all about. So what happened next? Well, when Jesus had died on the cross, and a man called Joseph of Arimathea came along, and he asked Pilate if he could take Jesus' body. And so he did. And he took it to a garden, all along a path. Now, this is where you need your gravel or your stones, whatever you've got. We're going to make a path that goes all the way from the cross to this corner here, okay? Or whichever corner you like, completely your design. I'm going to lay... They carried the body of Jesus all along the path. All the way to the garden. Now the garden was called Gethsemane. What I'm going to make my path even stand out even more, I'm going to put some bigger stones around the outside. Now, Joseph did a very brave thing, because Joseph was one of the religious leaders of the time, and when he asked for Jesus' body, he must have been putting his own neck on the line, as it were. Where they laid him in a new tomb in which no one had ever been laid. It was brand new. Put a bit more gravel in there, I think, just to make it extra special. You don't have to follow my design. You can do whatever design you like. Oops. So they laid Jesus in a tomb. Now, to make our tomb, I've got some cardboard. Now, if you cut this sort of shape, almost like an eye shape, or a pair of lips, could be a pair of lips, couldn't it? If you cut that out of cardboard, and then if you fold it like this and tuck it in the corner, it makes a nice cave shape. If I can get it in without crushing the flour, just like that. How does that look? Yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, the Jews had all sorts of special customs about what they did with when people died. And what they did was they wrapped up Jesus' body in cloths with lots of spices and herbs and sweet-smelling things to get rid of the smells, certainly, but also as a reminder that he was special, that he was the anointed one. They called him the Messiah. That means anointed one who has been given a special task. Now, if you remember, right at the beginning of the story, can you remember another time in Jesus' life when he was wrapped in cloths? Can you? I hope you're thinking of the Christmas story. I think Claire's nodding. She's thinking of the Christmas story when Jesus was wrapped in swaddling clothes and laid in the manger. And do you know the wise men? Remember what gifts they brought? They brought gold and frankincense and myrrh. And myrrh is the oil they use to anoint the dead bodies. So this is a bit of a funny thing, isn't it? This like an echo in the story, isn't it? It's a bit like something that happened before in the story is happening again in the story. You know what? That happens a lot in the story of Jesus. If you think about the fact that he was a carpenter and there he was carrying his own wooden cross. If you think about the times when he calmed the waters of the sea and walked on water and did all those miraculous things, and the fact that here he didn't think about time as like a line disappearing away. He thought about it like a spiral. So everything kind of comes round again. So the tomb was there and laid Jesus' body in the tomb. Now, I'm going to put this stone inside the tomb as the place where they laid Jesus. There he goes. A nice smooth stone. And then what they did was they rolled across the door, huge stone. It rolled over the door like this so that no one could get in and no one could get out. So the door was shut. And on that day, this is Holy Saturday, tomorrow, it was so quiet you could almost hear the earth breathe. And the birds sing. So at the moment we've got a bit of a muddy patch for our garden, haven't we? We better make it a garden. So I want you to make your garden as pretty as you like. You can use real flowers, plastic flowers, cut out paper flowers, whatever you want to do. But now we're going to make this whole area look beautiful. So I've got some flowers here that I've dug up from the garden. Hopefully they're going to be all right. So I've got a little spade. I'm just going to make a little hole. I might be better using my fingers. Like this. Whoops. There we go. Look a bit withery at the minute. Hopefully they'll be all right when I've watered them. I'm going to tuck this one in this corner. Like so. And then what else have I got? I've got some rosemary here. Now, rosemary is a symbol. It reminds us of remembering. So it's a remembering remembrance, as it were. So I thought that would be a good thing to put in the Easter garden. Put that there, I think, to get some height. No, maybe not there. Maybe behind the tomb. Whoops. There. Got a nice sort of tree. And then I've got some other green bits. Just going to put some little green bits here just to make it all look very lush and beautiful, like a real garden. Now in this corner here, somewhere here, oh that's probably a bit big actually now. I was going to put a pond, but I haven't really got room for one. You might have a room for a pond. What I was going to do is bury this and then fill it with water. But what I can do, because I don't have enough space for that, is I've got some glass pebbles here. You see these shiny glass pebbles? I'll put those there. That'll look like water. Little pool of water there, right next to the path. So take your time, make your garden look as pretty as you like. If you need to pause the video, you can. And then come back when you're ready. I'm just going to titivate a bit now. I've got some other glass pebbles here as well. I'm going to pop around the place just to make it look pretty. Let's just tip them in, shall we? Oops, a few too many. Yeah, looking good, I think. Let's put some up here as well. Some black stones here as well that I found in the shed. I don't know where I got them from, but they're quite pretty and shiny. I'm going to pop those there, all the way around the cross, make it look like it's a rocky mountain hill. I'm going to take those off and put that there. So you can change it around, you can do whatever you like. There's no hard and fast rules with an Easter garden. Oh, look at that one. That one's shaped like a heart, look. See that? Definitely put that one in. Right, how are we doing? I think we're getting there. This flower's looking a bit floppy, but we'll cope. Put a bit of green in there. That's it. Okay, let's go that way. But it's important, I think, to get it right, don't you? Get it exactly how you want it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to water my plants. So hopefully they won't die before Easter Day. Because we all need water and sunlight. Okay, so a bit of a tidy up while you finish yours. Now, you should have also a piece of A4 cards, that sort of size. And then what you can do when you've got time, perhaps later on today, you could paint yourself a backdrop. And here's the one that I painted. Here's one I prepared earlier. So I'm going to tuck that in the back there. Should just fit because I measured it like that. There we go. Let's put that up a bit straighter. There we are. Our finished Easter garden. There we go. Now yours may not look like mine, but that's fine. It doesn't matter as long as you're happy with it, and fiddle with it until you get it happy. You get it just how you want it, because these gardens will be a reminder to us of the Easter story. So what I'm going to ask God to do now is to bless our Easter gardens so that they can help us remember all that's happening over this wonderful time of year. So let us pray. May the God who loves us to death bless our Easter gardens. May they remind us of the Easter story and help us to follow Jesus all the days of our lives. Amen. I'm going to sing something else now. You may or may not know this song. It's called I Am. Just listen to it while you finish off your Easter garden. Who am I that the highest King would welcome me? I was lost, but you brought me in. Oh, his love for me. Oh, his love for me. Who the sun said I am. Free at last he has ransomed me. Oh, his grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Oh, he died for me. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am who you say I am. Who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. Who the Son sets free, who the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God, yes I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yeah, Diane's here too. So hi, Diane. So God bless you this Good Friday. Our next service is at 2:30. Reflections from the cross. Don't forget to finish your Easter gardens and send pictures. Send me pictures on the WhatsApp stream or on our Facebook Live, whatever. Just send me pictures so I can see your wonderful creations and we can share them together. So may God bless you this Friday. May His Spirit be with you.